Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the ReadyTalk webinar series. Thank you for standing by, and if you've joined us before, welcome back. If this is your first time on one of our series events, welcome, and we hope you get a lot out of today's webinar. My name is Simone Verholst, and I'm from ReadyTalk. Put up a quick slide here about us. We're an audio and web conferencing provider. We now have just launched new integrations with Eloqua, Salesforce, and some of our custom integrations with our open API. If you'd like more information about us, go ahead and visit the link that's on the slide there. Actually, I just copy and paste it to you if you do want to visit or type it into your browser. A little bit more about our speakers before we get started today. Today's event is entitled How to Qualify, Score, and Nurture Leads for Optimal ROI. Joining us today to share some insight on the topic are Jen Doyle and Casey Bauer of MarketingSherpa. Jen is a senior research analyst, and she covers the B2B marketing, social media, search engine optimization, both PPC and SEO. She's also the lead author of the 2011 B2B Marketing Benchmark Report, which ReadyTalk sponsored this year, and also the B2B Advanced Practices Handbook. And then Casey, too, who is also a research analyst at MarketingSherpa, and she's responsible for compiling these benchmark data reports and insights, guides to marketers' strategic decisions and tactical planning. She is also the lead author of MarketingSherpa's 2012 Search Engine Marketing Benchmark Report, both SEO and PPC editions. And then lastly, we're excited to have Chris Petco, who is the Senior Director of Expert Services at Eloqua, join us as well. And he's going to discuss some of the practical use case examples of lead nurturing and scoring that he's seen success with internally at Eloqua and both with some of their customers as well. So I will put up this slide briefly. If you guys are on Twitter, feel free to follow us there as well with these hashtags, Sherpa Webinar and Marketing Funnel, and listed there are all the hashtags in addition. So feel free to shoot your questions on the social media side as well as in the conversation today online. If you do have some questions during today's presentation, please feel free to chat those into the chat feature that's located at the lower left-hand portion of your screen. We'll queue those questions up in our Q&A portion at the very end of our event, but again, please feel free to start those conversations throughout the event as those questions might come to mind. As a reminder, today's event is being recorded Thursday, September 8th, and you guys will all receive the link to this in the post-event email later on today following the event this afternoon, along with the PDF of the slides. So on that note, I'm going to go ahead and hand it back over to Jen to kick off today's presentation.
Thank you so much, Simone, and thank you everyone for joining us for today's webinar. We're all really excited to be here and sharing this great content with you, all about qualifying, scoring, and nurturing your leads. Before we get started, I just want to tell you a little bit about our company, MarketingSherpa. We are part of the MECLab Sciences Group. We are a marketing research firm and publisher of marketing know-how. Along with the MECLabs group are the Marketing Experiments brands as well as the InTouch brand. And at MarketingSherpa, we really have four key elements to our brand. There's the research, and a lot of what we're going to be communicating with you today is from our research department. This is where we produce our benchmark reports that Simone mentioned and also our best practice handbooks. We also have our newsletters. We currently have 8 weekly newsletters that are currently in circulation. They're all free. We just recently launched an inbound marketing newsletter that's gaining traction. And when you register for our newsletters, you'll receive on a weekly basis free case studies as well as best practice articles from MarketingSherpa research. We also have our events. We have our annual events for our summits. We have an email marketing summit, a new landing page optimization summit, and our upcoming B2B summit as well. We also have monthly Sherpa training events. And finally, there's our membership. And when you have a MarketingSherpa membership, you gain access to our extensive library of case studies and best practice articles, as well as discounts on research and events. So now I'd like to quickly get into our agenda for today's webinar, just to let you know what to expect in terms of content for today. Quickly, I'll give you an introduction, and I'll talk about the research background for all of the charts that we'll be reviewing today. And we'll also take a look at the B2B fuel methodology for effectiveness. And then we'll get into our our first topic here, which is really finding the goals with lead qualification and scoring. We'll talk to you about the importance of doing these practices, as well as give you some tactical how-to information here. And then once you qualify and score your leads, you need to harvest them. You need to nurture them until they are ready to go to sales. And then you need to really develop that content and all those different nurturing tracks. So we're going to get all into that content in the next part. We'll also have a MarketingSherpa case study, which Casey will present for us. And this is all about a lead generation revamp with automation and scoring. So with that, I'd like to quickly get into our research background for all of the research that you'll be receiving today. This is all from our 2011 B2B Marketing Benchmark Report, where we surveyed over 900 B2B marketers on their top challenges. We asked them about their best tactics. We asked them, of course, about the topics of today's webinar, qualification, scoring, and nurturing. And one of our key findings in this study was that the B2B marketing environment is becoming increasingly more challenging. We saw a number of challenges increasing in pertinence to organizations year over year. And as a result of this study, we developed the MarketingSherpa Fuel methodology to power marketing effectiveness from lead generation all the way through the funnel to sales conversion. So let's take a look at the challenges first, and then we'll quickly review the Fuel methodology. So here's a chart showing the challenges facing B2B marketers in 2009 and 2010. And 2010 is represented by the darker colored bar there. And as you can see, a number of the challenges are increasing in pertinence year over year. Our number one challenge, generating high quality leads. 78% of marketers are experiencing this challenge right now. And then our second challenge is generating a high volume of leads. So there's really this balance going on, this struggle to generate a volume of qualified leads for sales teams. Also, if you notice, sales cycles are becoming a little more complex. We have more people involved in the buying cycle. Buying cycles are taking longer. Buyers are staying in the independent research phase a little bit longer. So all of these elements are making the role of B2B marketer more challenging over time. So as a direct solution to the challenges that B2B marketers are facing, we developed this Fuel methodology. It's a comprehensive step-by-step plan to optimize B2B marketing effectiveness. Now we say B2B, but this can also be applied in a B2C sense, especially those B2C companies with a complex sale. So the first step is to find and attract leads. In this step, we really look at building a foundation for your lead generation programs. We look at getting to know your audience, establishing buyer personas for your audience. And then you, of course, have to master your essential lead generation mix, picking your mix of inbound and outbound marketing tactics that are going to create that optimal messaging to find and convert your leads. So we'll talk about, in this step, we talk about how to select that mix. So the next step is uncover qualified leads. And this is really where we're going to be focusing in today's webinar content. So first, before you uncover qualified leads, you of course have to have a solid working relationship with sales, because sales is a huge resource to marketing. So we talk about bridging the gap in this step. And you have to identify your marketing and sales funnel before you can progress lead progression through that funnel, of course. So you map out that funnel as part of this step as well. And then you have to identify and qualify your leads, and you have to also nurture them, which we're going to be going into in great detail today. The third step is to establish automated marketing processes. We do recommend automation here at MarketingSherpa, because as you develop these complex scoring and nurturing tracks, it's going to become ineffective. It's going to become impossible for you to execute it in a human manner. So we do recommend automation. And finally, we always want to be lifting results. And in this step, we really talk about analyzing all of your marketing practices, from lead generation to automation to conversion, looking at metrics that matter, and ultimately delivering that value to the C-suite of your organization. So